So this weekend was eventful for all the wrong reasons in the world of NASCAR, because we were going to get the season opening cookout clash at the Bowman Gray Stadium in North Carolina. Now, this was initially meant to be a 2-day event over Saturday and Sunday, but as myself and Phil brought you here on Motorsport Reports, the schedule got rearranged a few times and then the event got delayed until Monday. The reason why this was because of the weather. It is very cold right now in a lot of the United States. For example, over the weekend, it was colder in Miami, Florida than it was on the Pacific coast all the way up in Alaska. There's been a huge cold front that has been basically wreaking havoc across the entire eastern half of the United States over this past week, and North Carolina, unfortunately, was not immune to that. If you looked at any pictures that were shared from the Bowman Gray Stadium over the weekend, you'll be left in no doubt as to why it was delayed. Even if they could clear all of the snow from the track, it would be just too cold to be able to run effectively and safely around a quarter-mile track, a track that is, very challenging anyway. That's part of the charm with it. So it was initially delayed from Sunday until Monday. However, then they decided, you know what, we need some more time to sort this out. We're going to delay it until Wednesday instead. So we got to wait until Wednesday to see any action around the Bowman Gray Stadium. And to be totally honest, and I'll put the weather forecast from the Weather Channel, I don't think it's going to run on Wednesday either, if this forecast is correct anyway. Because, yeah, in the day, it's meant to get up to 41 degrees Fahrenheit, which is well above freezing, which will allow for the snow to melt, and indeed it is forecast to rain during the day, but it is saying a mix of rain and snow there, so that should clear the track up a bit. But even if it does, at night it's going to be 27 degrees Fahrenheit. That is below freezing. So with all that cleared off snow, with all that rain, let's be charitable and say it's going to be rain rather than snow, it's going to be an absolute mud bath relatively. It's going to be so wet around that track. And with the cold as well, it could easily freeze and become like an ice rink. And then you've also got the fans to consider as well. I mean, is anybody actually going to attend the event if it's going to be throwing it down with rain, if it's not going to be very nice like that, if it's going to be potentially snowing as well? I mean, listen, the NASCAR fans are quite hardcore, it's fair to say, but that does not sound like a lot of fun at all. There is no roof on this stadium. It is very rickety by NASCAR standards. That cannot be down. And that's part of the charm. I'm not criticising it. That's just a fact. But yeah, honestly, at this point, the people who were saying, oh, let's delay it, let's move it to Florida instead, honestly, they got a point. They do have a point, although literally Florida has been freezing as well this past weekend, so you can't rule out anything like that. But just looking at the weather forecast, I mean, I don't think there's much hope of this happening on Wednesday, if that's going to be correct. It could change. It could change. Maybe it won't be as bad as what the forecast is looking like, but if it is going to run, it's going to be really challenging. It's going to be challenging for sure. They're going to have to be running the wet weather tyres, which of course NASCAR can do now. That is something they do. They don't just rain off all the events. If there's a bit of rain, they can do that. They can compete around these short tracks. But if it's icy, that is just a no-go. That's just a no-go. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Personally, for me, going off the forecast as it is now, and that obviously is subject to change. Anybody who knows how unpredictable the weather forecast can be will know exactly that. But I would be surprised. I'd be very surprised if this runs on Wednesday. But we'll see, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, guys, and see you soon for the next one here on the Motorsport Reports.